Northern Virginia, a nonprofit organization, and home here. This is being done for no gain or profit and only for my neighbors and friends here at Hermitage. We're reading in chapter 14 from One More Time, just for the fun of it, Notes from Fair Acres by Effie Leland Wilder. This was copyright the text in 1999. And just a reminder, she was 90 years old. Chapter 14, Quizzes and Quotes. December 8th, the mail today brought 3 fan letters, including 2 delightful amusements from readers in completely different parts of the country. The quizzes gave me an afternoon of pleasant mental exercise, even though I came up with failing grades on both of them. The first was a Bible quiz, which I tackled confidently. I tried to work it by circling groups of letters, not always in the same order. That spelled out books of the Bible. But I only found the names of 6 of the 16 books of Scripture that are hidden in the text. I went to my Bible and studied the list of books. But I have to report that 10 of the concealed titles eluded me. I'm mortified. The second puzzler involved automobile names, so I didn't feel quite so sheepish about not knowing all the cars. I do know just what I want to show this quiz to first. Paul, our car naming champion. Here are the 2 quizzes. I will tuck the answers away in the back of the book. Quiz number 1, Bible quiz. In the following passage, can you find the names of 16 books of the passage of the Bible? Well, that would be interesting here because they're on the page and you can't see them to circle them. I once made a remark about the hidden books of the Bible. It was a lulu, kept people looking so hard for facts, and others, it was a revelation. Some were in a jam, especially since the names of the books were not capitalized. Shame on them. But the truth finally struck home to numbers of readers. To others, it was a real job. We want it to be so fascinating. A few moments for you. Yes, there will be some really easy ones to spot. Others may require judges to help them. I will quickly admit, it usually takes a minister to find one of them, and there will be loud lamentations when it's found. Hoorah! A little lady says she brews a cup of tea so she can concentrate better. See how well you can compete. Relax now, for there really are 16 books of the Bible in this story. Quiz number 2, and you can fill in the blanks. Which cars do you remember? Number 1, a famous Indian chief. Number 2, a kind of rock used for striking fire. Number 3, the crossing of a stream. Number 4, an intoxicated maker of bread. Number 5, a city in Texas. Number 6, a French general. Number 7, a gentle breeze. Number 8, a Spanish explorer. Number 9, a French explorer. Number 10, ancient plus a letter plus city in Alabama. Male deer plus 1 letter. A rock famous in American history. To grind the teeth in anger. A river in New York. Honest U.S. president. A river in the Holy Land. Across country. A satellite. A kind of cracker. Ripping aircraft. A high ecclesiastic heavenly body. Michigan City. A French racing driver. A planet. A jungle cat. A brand of coffee. If really tired, you're going to get all blanket out. Formal title of a German ruler. Kite flying diplomat. Somebody had an interesting time with this, I'm sure. But as for me, I couldn't figure out but 2 or 3 of them. December the 8th, a dear old friend sent me a lovely Christmas card. Her message? I say with the poet, may it be that thou hast no sorrow in thy song, no winter in thy year. What? poet is she quoting, I wonder? Since I don't like sad songs or cold weather, I appreciate the sentiment and move on. Later this evening, after the news, I was going through a box of papers, and I found some of my own poetical efforts from days gone by. Definition: sang Freud, the power to maintain a look of calm repose when a splinter on the church's seat has torn your nylon hose.
Oh.
And this bit of terse verse, marriage vows, to have, to hold, and to zip. June brides are getting promises for one more they should press, that he should promise always to zip up the back of her dress. Zipping is still a problem, even with the gadgets people have invented to try to help. But old age has brought new worries when it comes to getting dressed, worries that those June brides don't have to. Like I'm playing you before Dear Diary, maybe the reason I have so many hang-ups about the way I look is because there are so many hang-downs on me. Oh, me. December the 9th. I have an appointment with my eye doctor after the holidays. As my world dims, I want the lights to be stronger everywhere. I want 200-watt bulbs in all lamps. I want sunshine streaming in. More light might help. More light. I take to myself in comfort the verse in Revelation. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord giveth the light. And I will see again. December the 15th. Last Saturday, Arthur and Ari and Cliffy, along with Mr. C, brought in a large, fresh Christmas tree and set it up at the end of one of our dining rooms. Today, we were told that the program department is doing something different this year. Instead of the staff decorating it is, as usual, they want us to dress it ourselves. Smile. Lurleen, our program director, said, we will finish up the decorating with tinsel and snow, but we want you all first to place on the tree any decoration that you want. We prefer it be an ornament that has meaning, that has a story behind it, and we want you to tell us the story on Friday night. What can I remember about that story? We looked at one another a little uncertainly, but Lurleen and her assistant Sophia are so good to us, so patient with our onerous and strange requests that we felt we had to go along. Don't forget now, Lurleen, as we broke up, bring something you love, something with meaning, and don't forget that story. December the 16th. We had a cold and wet blast from old man winter today. It was the kind of day when you try to avoid going outside at all. When I walk these days, whether inside or outside, I plant each foot, plunk, plunk, so careful. I will not be a fallen woman. Overheard. Two ladies were walking down the hall. One of them said, honey, these days are nights. I'm scared to go to sleep for fear I'll wake up. December the 17th. I've been trying to clear some of the clutter in my apartment so that when I move to the assisted living department or to the healthcare center where most residents stay when they get bad, there will not be such a hoorah's nest for my children to tackle. It's not an easy task. I've scaled down before, but this is perhaps the last scaling down I'll do. And it hurts, especially when it comes to parting with some of my favorite books. How can I part with my own inscribed 75-year-old copy of A Child's Garden of Verses? Well, the books that Mother used to read to me, The Little Colonel, Little Lord Fauntleroy, Miss Minerva, William Greenhill, and Dee Dee Dumps and Top. To say nothing of the books that I collected as an adult. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis, and my collection of the world's most famous letters. I'll keep my Bible in large print, my dictionary, my thesaurus, and 3 books of poetry. Even if I can't read any of them anymore without a strong magnifying lamp, and I'll try not to grieve. In going through the books this morning, I found a battered little brown volume that had belonged to my parents called Songs Merry and Sad. It is by a young North Carolina poet who wrote in early years of this century, John Charles McNeil. What an hour of revelation I had. I laughed and I cried, and I felt sorry that this rare talent inhabited our southern world for such a short time. He died quite young. What an ear and an eye he had. What a heart and what a voice. I wish I could quote pages and pagers here. Here's a small sample. Love's fashion. Oh, can I jest with Margaret and laugh a gay good night? But when I take my Helen's hand, I dare not clasp it tight. I dare not hold her dear white hand more than a quivering space, and I should bless a breeze that blew her hair into my face. 'Tis Margaret I call sweet names. Helen is too dear for me to stammer little words of love into her car, of love into her ear. So now good night, fair Margaret, and kiss me ere we part. But one dumb touch of Helen's hand, and oh my heart, move over, A.E. Howland. And another one where he is writing from the point of view of a sharecropper. I can see the tired old horse and driver going home in the gathering dust. Harvest, cows in the stall and sheep in the fold. Clouds in the west deep crimson and gold. A heron's far flight to a roost somewhere. The twitter of killdeer keen in the air. The noise of a wagon that jolts through the gloom on the last load home for the night. These are lights. There are lights in the windows. A blue spire of smoke climbs from the grange grove of elm and oak. The smell of the earth where the light pours to her is dewy libation. It's sweeter than mirth. An incense to toil is the smell of the loam on the last load home. I could not find a poem of this that I remembered from long ago. It must have been published in his other books. He did publish 2, I think. I gets my children up for day, cause it make do cotton way. I could see the little shirt-tailed figures being hurried into the field in the dark. What pictures and feelings of that young man could conjure up. I hope the spirit of John Charles McNeil met up in heaven with the shades of 2 Roberts, Burns and Stevenson. I like to think of all 3 of them lolling on the banks of some ethereal sweet afton, flowing gently when they swap light-hearted celestial observations. I'm adding the name of John Charles McNeil to the list of gifted, funny, great-hearted, lyrical souls I hope to encounter in the sweet by and by. Perhaps I should hang a book on the tree, but no, I actually found something I had all forgotten. I'll actually take it to the tree trimming. Perhaps I'll pass it along after the holidays to one of my children, include the story behind it. End of chapter 14.